The Newsday continues here on One News Now. I'm Sean Yao. The Justice Department wants the Bureau of Corrections to submit a report on the claim of Percy Lapid's alleged gunman that he acted on orders from inside the new Bilibid prison. In a press conference, Justice Secretary Remulla said they will have to confirm this first with Bureau of Corrections Director General Gerald Bantag. However, Secretary Remulla acknowledged that big reforms are needed in the national or need to be made in the national penitentiary. Joel Estorial, Lapid's suspected gunman, claimed that he was acting on the orders of a man called Orly, who was allegedly taking orders from inside the prison.
I will tell him to give me a report on this if he has any knowledge already. Because what the gunman said and what the DG knows, we do not know if they are the same. We cannot presume that.
And the Marcos administration sees tempered economic growth next year as a result of high inflation. NEDA Secretary Arsenio Balisacan said inflation in 2022 and 2023 will cause a slowdown in economic growth. This translates to a 0.6% decrease to the expected gross domestic product or GDP in 2023. Balisacan noted that the country's trading partners falling into recession would result to weaker demand for Philippines' exports, investments, and tourism. Aside from that, the Bangko Sentral series of interest rate hikes will also slow down the country's growth prospects. We're gonna pause for a quick break, but we will be back with more stories after that. Keep it here on One News.
我们必须增强忧患意识。
Xi defended his signature COVID-0 policy, saying it protects people and the economy. He avoided giving a timeline for a change in that strategy, which has become a source of growing frustration among the public. China has long stressed that its development path is unique. Xi repeated the slogan from previous party Congress speeches that economic development is the party's top priority, even as he twice mentioned the need to balance development with security. President Xi pledged his nation will prevail in its fight to develop strategically important tech, underscoring Beijing's concern over a US campaign to separate it from cutting-edge chip capabilities. On Taiwan, Xi said the wheels of history are rolling toward reunification, adding it can without a doubt be realized. He also called the Taiwan dispute a Chinese matter, pushing back at the US. He set out plans to intensify military training and introduce new strategies and tactics for the armed forces. Xi has vowed to modernize the once infantry-dominated military by 2027.
In the Fed, investors trust, even as its campaign to raise interest rates causes turmoil in the stock, bond, currency, and commodity markets, and increases the odds of a global recession. Bloomberg polled a group of professional and retail investors, asking them which central bank will succeed in cooling inflation and getting the cost of living under control. The U.S. won handedly. That may be because the rest of the world faces additional pressures. For the UK and Europe, it's an energy shortage sparked by war in Ukraine, while China is still pursuing its COVID-0 policy. In other words, the US is the cleanest dirty shirt in the global laundry basket. So it follows that survey respondents also overwhelmingly picked the US economy as the relative winner, seen emerging from the global turmoil first, along with US stocks and bonds. Now, looking ahead, one unspoken downside risk in a recovery is a potential widening in inequality. The stock market would rally, boosting the portfolios of the wealthy, while stagnating pay and high rents would squeeze lower-income households.
You're still watching One News Now. I'm Sean Yao. Transport groups are batting for a jeepney surge fee during rush hours to offset the rising cost of fuel. Here's the report.
As prices of fuel continue to skyrocket, many PUV drivers have yet to feel any relief from the approved fare hike increase. This pushed some transport groups, such as Pasang Mazda, to ask the LTFRB to issue a surge fee, especially during rush hours. For the case of jeepneys, this is a 1 peso fixed rate. The surge fee proposal includes a twice per day window hour from 5 a.m. to 7 p.m. and from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m.
Since yan ay rush hour, nagkakaos ng traffic, mag-charge tayo ng additional na 1 peso. Malapit at malayo at para naman makaagwanta ang ating mga driver.
Traditional jeepney fare costs a minimum of 12 pesos. But despite the fare hike, many drivers are still not imposing the new fares pending the release of matrices.
Hindi talaga ako nagtaas kasi bawal nga magsingil ng 12 dahil wala nga yung permatrix. Pagka nagbabayad sa akin ng mga buo, sisuklian ko ng 9, 11 lang.
The LTFRB admits that many drivers have yet to apply for a new matrix. So far, only around 30,000 of the total of 247,000 PUV drivers have applied for the matrix. That is why an executive of the board recommends deferring payments for the fare matrix.
Pwede naman pong yung payment po ng fare increase, pwede po sa ibang transaction na lang po para po makapag-avail na lang po sila ng fare increase. So, 50 pesos na lang po yung kanilang babayaran.
The League of Transportation Operators approves this.
Hirap na hirap mag-ipon dahil talagang yung kinikita ngayon, totoo na dumami yung pasahero namin ng mga pampasaherong jeepney, ang mga minibus, yung mga modernized. Kaso, kinakain lahat nitong fuel ng yung diesel consumption namin. Yun yung umuubos.
But until this proposal gets approved, those caught charging higher fares without a matrix will be fined 15,000 pesos.
Members of K-pop group BTS are set to enlist for mandatory military service in South Korea, while Drag Race Philippines winner Precious Paula Nicole gears up for DragCon UK next year. MJ Marfori with the details.
Global superstars BTS will go off on mandatory military service. In a statement, Big Hit Music confirmed the enlistment of the septet, starting with the oldest member, Jin. He is turning 30 on December 4. Jin will begin the process once the promotion for solo album ends in October. Recall that BTS announced a break from the group musical activities back in June to pursue solo projects. They reunited to perform a free concert in Busan last Saturday. Big Hit also announced that BTS will reconvene as a group again around 2025. Newly crowned Drag Race Philippines winner Precious Paula Nicole will see her reign take her to DragCon UK early next year. The convention for drag fans made the announcement on its official social media pages. Drag Race showrunner RuPaul will attend the event with fellow judge and good friend Michelle Visage. Drag Race Philippines judge Jiggly Caliente is also expected to perform at the main stage of DragCon UK. For News 5, MJ Marfori, we are One News.
Let's now take a quick look at today's other top stories. Infrastructure damage in northern Luzon from Typhoon Neneng has hit over 80 million pesos. Over 100,000 people were affected by the typhoon. The Parañaque Veterinary Service confiscated sacks of mishandled and unhygienic meat at the La Huerta Public Market. Last week, authorities also seized 50 kilos of mishandled frozen meat in Novaliches, Quezon City. And Malacanang has declared October 31 as a special non-working holiday. The palace said this is in order to give Filipinos a long weekend as it falls before All Saints' Day on November 1. A no-work, no-pay policy is in place during non-working holidays, while employees who report to work on that day will be paid an additional 30% of their daily rate. For more updates, visit News 5, The Philippine Star, and Business World online. Visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. You can also catch One News on Signal Play. Register for a free account at www.signalplay.com and stream One News Live anytime, anywhere. I am Sean Yao. We are One News.